gentlemen, I'm realizing my mic settings are a little off. Let's fix those. It's a special solo episode. As Lucian had to cancel last minute. So here, I need to, if I do this, there we go. There we go. Now I'm a little more balanced. Lucian had to cancel last minute. It was very sad. Nothing bad has happened, but winter is upon him, and he has a pool, and he has to get it drained and like winterized before it freezes and bursts all of his pipes. So I don't know if he has to schedule something for that, but like today was the day that he's going to do that. So we have no Lucian today. Might be a short show. We'll see. I put up all the list of topics that I wanted to cover. And yes, very Sly Flourish. I love Sly's broadcast on Sunday mornings, but I catch him on Monday when he puts them on YouTube. But I started using Notion because of Sly Flourish. So feel free to chat with me more than usual because now I have no one to talk to. But we're gonna talk about Free RPG Day. Is this just a US thing, now that I think about it? I don't know if Free RPG Day goes to other places, but let's try it out. I will be going to Free RPG Day, which is today, after the show is done. I'm going to head over to my local gaming store. It's interesting that they have not updated this website for some reason, because I go down here and we still have like to be announced for Renegade Game Studios and things like that. We could get Felix on the show. So, it's in Canada. Good. And it's in the UK. Okay, Free RPG Day all over. I love it. It's one of my favorites. So looking at these, I'm very excited about the Dark Tower, which is it's 5th edition, but it's a classic modular setting that they're going to remake, and I think this is a preview of it. So, this is a link to Dungeon Crawl Classics, but really, I'm interested in this Dark Tower supplement that they're coming out with. I think that is the most popular setting that is not TSR, if I'm remembering correctly. Let me see if I can. Dark Tower RPG. Yeah, 9th level games is to publish the Return to the Dark No, that's not what I want. This is it, maybe? No, these are all about Stephen King's Dark Tower. Dark Tower module. Here we go. Yeah. So it was published by the Judges Guild, which was non-RPG or non-TSR stuff, but became very popular. So they're republishing that, which I think is really cool. I'll move this over so you can slightly see what I'm talking about. Yeah, so the Dark Tower module, it was for AD&D, released in 1980. Very exciting. Yeah. And nope. Oh no. We're trying this again. We might be back. I lowered some settings. So we'll see. No, we're still having lots of problems. Oh, man. How's everything now? I'm green. So I think we might be back. I'm doing a speed test to see what my upload is. Upload is good. I don't know what happened. Hopefully, we're okay. we're back. All right. Yeah. Okay. So sorry. Oh man, I love the internet. So going through here, I'm not sure what 9th level is. We all wear masks. How to build a boss fight final chamber. Renegade, I'm always curious about, but they have not announced what they're doing. Magpie is Root. Hit Point Press, they have Humblewood stuff. They have a Kickstarter right now, which is for Fool's Gold, which is the Dingo Doodles. What's the word? It's a YouTube channel, Dingo Doodles, and they're utilizing her IP to create this book. Yeah, Green Ronin Publishing. Of course, Modivius. You can pick up Dune. That's going to be Octung Cthulhu. Could be really fun. I should check out that. So anyway, I love Free RPG Day. I think it's one of the coolest things that we have created. So you should definitely go check out Free RPG Day. And if you follow me on the Instagram, I'll probably put it on the main channel as well as a YouTube post. But I will definitely talk about the things that I get because I get really excited. And I'm going to go pick up some Magic cards because if you don't know, I've been playing a lot of Magic the Gathering lately. And it's been fun. The Forgotten Realms set totally got me into it. And I'm having a lot of fun running around with that. Since I like old school essentials, have you seen the 5 Torches Deep Kickstarter? I have not. 5 Torches Deep Kickstarter. Torches Deep Kickstarter. It's 5e plus OSR. Let's take a look real quick. We have, buy now. Is it done? Oh, November 10th, 2020. Yeah, this is old. Streamlined adventure game combining the best mechanics of OSR and 5e. Okay. Yeah, I'm not aware of this. But if it's out, I'll totally look for it. Through drive-thru. Okay. So yeah, we should totally go to drive-thru and we can find it, I bet. Let's go to drive-thru. Get a soft cover book. $10. How's it different? It's a 5e skeleton. Yeah, I'd really have to... Oh, there's a review. I'll have to look into this because this could be fun for the other channel to do that. There is a Kickstarter running at the moment. Okay. I wonder why. Why it showed me this one instead. Oh, probably from... Let's just go to Sigilstone Publishing. Can you not show me about all of the things you've done? No? Okay. Belly of the Beast I've heard of. Okay. Awesome Possum. I love it. So, Critical Role came out with an adventure. I don't think anybody was really... I was not expecting this. I kind of thought that Wizards of the Coast and Critical Role had parted ways. Not in a upsetting capacity by any means, but I wonder if Critical Role... Well, it's kind of twofold. My thought process is that Critical Role wants to do all of their stuff in-house now and make more money. But the partnership with Wizards of the Coast probably sells more books. Because this has an official Wizards of the Coast stamp on it, I think fans... I don't know about fans. If they're more inclined to buy this, or if they're more inclined... Are they more inclined to buy it because it's Critical Role and Wizards of the Coast? Or are they more inclined to buy it because it's written by Matt Mercer? I don't know. There's a Venn diagram there that I'm very curious about. Because there's also fans that want Wizards of the Coast stuff to be... they want new options. And if it's published by Wizards of the Coast, then they get excited because all of a sudden I can use... what is it? Grammaturgy, which is the Critical Role... what have you. The magic that he came up with for his thing. So I don't know, but I think it's kind of cool that they're doing an adventure. And it's definitely going to traverse into the new campaign and the new continent and things like that. So yeah. Good morning, Mr. AJ Pickett. Welcome to the show. It's a solo show today. So the Netherdeep, which I was reading about, is a combination of like an ocean and the far realm, the sunken realm of gloom, corruption, and sorrow. And so I'm very curious about that. If this is where we're getting Uk'otoa, is that all of this is coming from weird undersea far realm craziness? Yeah, I don't know. But if the new continent is taking place on Marquette, and this starts in Xhorhas. Xhorhas is in the in Wildemount. So you're basically branching, like you could buy the guide to Wildemount and then jump from Wildemount into Marquette and then continue your things there. I played a Wildemount game. Friends that were very into Critical Role were very eager to play a game of Critical Role. It's weird, and I guess I understand now how other people are not keen on the realms, but I want to play on the realms because I like the realms a whole bunch, you know, and I know a lot about the realms. It makes sense to me to play there because I recognize places like Baldur's Gate and Neverwinter and even like some of the Al-Qadim stuff or Kalimshan or things like that are more south. Well, Al-Qadim's very far away. But they like knew all about Xhorhas and knew all about these cities and were very invested in it. From my perspective, it was fun to play in a world where I didn't know the standards. I don't know how dark elves are viewed. I don't know how tieflings are viewed. I was a tiefling, and it was like, am I okay in this city? Like, I don't know. How are tieflings viewed? So I'm curious about Marquette. Obviously, there's a lot of cool lore here. Matt's made a very interesting world that is evolving and growing with 5th edition, which I think is kind of fun. And I've talked about this before, that Lucian and I both want to see what the 5th edition designers come up with for a system or a world that was built around 5th edition. So understanding that we don't have to shoehorn Dragonborn into the realms. This world that we've created has Dragonborn. They have a history established, and you kind of go from there. Yeah, and Critical Role has done that. They've changed Dragonborn and things like that. So no real information other than it's coming out March 15th, 2022. Steve, thank you so much for the donation. It's very thoughtful of you. Starting a Dungeon of the Mad Mage campaign in a period of couple players are going to play Plasmoids, loosely using the guild format. Oh, interesting. Yeah. So again, we were talking about that last week with the Plasmoids being the Unearthed Arcana Spelljammer stuff that was coming out. A little bit more information on that as I was researching. I guess Plasmoids, I thought they were just in Star Frontiers, but they are in Spelljammer as well. So it is a very Spelljammer thing. So curious about what you guys think about this. It comes with a cool poster map. It's levels 3 to 12. Bursting with lore. So this is going in the direction of their adventure/campaign books. Kind of like the Feywild book that we got, Wild Beyond the Witchlight. But more so, I wonder if they'll release something else that's like the campaign supplement. I don't know. Yeah, I do love how, yeah, you got all my RPG mats. Oh yeah, Steve, good job. Because AJ's been making some of those great RPG mats. They're really cool. Netherdeep. I'm very curious about that. We'll see where that goes. Xhorhas, March 15th, a cross between the Far Realm and the Deep Ocean. I don't know what the Deep Ocean is, if that's something there. But anyway, Chris Perkins. I'm a big fan of Chris Perkins, obviously. I talk about him quite a bit. Or I just really like his RPG writing and things like that. So this was a tweet that I was just on Twitter this morning. And he said, while digging through old boxes to find my Star Frontiers screenplays, which I'm wondering if screenplay is for a game or if he was actually writing a movie screenplay. I don't know. I'm not sure what he's referencing there, but he said, I found some other stuff, but here's my piggy bank. And so it's cute piggy bank. I like it, whatever. All of his Canadian coins. And then this is what I thought was interesting. He found a bunch of other stuff. Here's an adventure I wrote for Dungeon Magazine that was rejected. So that's kind of exciting. A complete set of old-timey monster cards. And I found a folder containing my hand-drawn pencil maps for Curse of Strahd. This is just really fun stuff to keep. Here's the first draft of the first D&D adventure he ever sold to TSR with the original map. So this is so neat. Like, to have this kind of stuff I thought was really cool. Yeah, Star Frontiers. I wonder what's going on with that. Like, I'm not sure. Here's the Extra Life charity in 2015 that he ran. The original maps for Storm King's Thunder. Kind of fun. So like this is hand drawn, and then yeah, so crazy that he was working on this for so long. I know, like, I don't think Perkins realizes that he could auction some of this stuff off to like Extra Life charities. Like, it would get a pretty penny. Like, I would love to have some stuff like this. I've been talking a lot about Ptolus, which I want to play Ptolus. I want to read it. I almost bought it the other day. It's birthday month, so I'm trying to think of things that I might buy myself. And the 5th edition version of Ptolus is high on the list, but we'll see. Because I just don't know if I have the time to read it, and I don't know if I'll ever run anything with Ptolus. But here's, yeah, his characters. So what do we got here? Monty Cook ran this game when he worked at Wizards. And Chris was in it, and I just thought that was, I mean, two, like, pillars of game design that I really, really love. And they were just running games together. And so he was in this for a long time. And it's kind of fun to see, like, the props and the backstory and stuff. If we go here, here's his character. So, like, I don't know, not like a straightforward character sheet, but, like, here's the character they were running. I'm pretty sure it was a third edition game. And also he talks about the inverted pyramid, which is a very Monty Cook thing. And when I was crafting Endegar, I wanted this inverted pyramid as well. And it was very Monty Cook inspired. And then lo and behold, Ptolus has a inverted pyramid. Yeah, no, I am very glad that Perkins is in development on 5e. He's such a, I don't know, he's just a really cool guy. like I think he's a really awesome person. This was really fun to kind of watch all of this stuff. Here's a hand-drawn isometric map of the falling star, which I made as a teenager, and WizKids Games turned into a miniature. So that's funny. Very funny. The falling star, it's a boat, apparently. I'm not sure about the WizKids, whatever, but yeah. Anyway, Christopher Perkins, you should go check it out. Like, this was a cool trip down, like, RPG history, I guess. And he's been working on this for, like, so long, so I thought that was really cool. I really, really love the vintage stuff, obviously. Like, I like OSR and things like that. Wizards of the Coast is hiring a lot of people in Texas, Washington, and North Carolina. A lot of these are for Archetype. Yeah, I spelled this wrong. I think it's Archetype Entertainment, which is a subsidiary of Wizards of the Coast. I don't think they partner with them. I think they straight up own them, and they're making video games. But the idea is that they might be making digital tool sets or something. And I'm wondering if they're trying to get into that space of, rather than licensing out our properties, we could be making all of this money if we did everything in-house. And the problem with this, though, is that they've done this in the past, and what if it's bad? You know, like what if you're shoehorning people into, well, you can't use D&D Beyond anymore. We're pulling all of the license stuff for that. So you can't play with D&D Beyond anymore, but you can play with our digital tool set. Oh, by the way, you're going to have to rebuy all of the books. That's going to frustrate a lot of players. But if you go to the hiring website, no thanks. Yeah, so we've got benefits and perks, archetype entertainment, but I wanted like all locations, all departments. So first of all, they want artists. This is all in Texas. And then engineering and stuff. So they're building a game. They're doing game design there. Kind of makes sense. They're doing whatever properties they're building. Who knows? And then we get to Digital Dungeons and Dragons, and this is in Renton. So this is where Wizards of the Coast head office is, and we want software engineers and environment artists and things like that. And I'm wondering, not so much that they're trying to build like tabletop software, but like a Roll20 or something like that. I don't think that they're trying to do like a map software. From this, I'm very, very much guessing. Nobody knows but them. But I think that they're trying to build like a 3D MMO sandboxy world space. And I wonder if that's going to be the next edition of Dungeons and Dragons, is that we have this really cool 5th edition rule set, 5.5. We're going to refine everything. We're going to do this. And now the Dungeon Master can run players through a video game, through a 3D environment. I don't know. Like, I don't know. You know, I don't think Hasbro has the power. So AJ in chat said that Hasbro has the power to buy everybody out. And I don't think so. Like, D&D Beyond is owned by Fandom, and Fandom is owned by Amazon, if I'm not mistaken. Or maybe they're their own thing. But, like, they're not going to sell. Like, they're not going to just be like, oh, yeah, we'll just, you can just buy us. Like, there's no reason for them if Fandom is making enough money. And they are. So, I don't know. Like, I think this is an interesting path that they're going. And then here's Magic, and then platform, digital game development. Like, I think that they're working on something, and it's all in Renton. And then digital publishing is in Bellevue, which is right next to Renton. But they're hiring so many people, like digital media, marketing, like all of these crazy people. Which is awesome. Like, hey, they're growing, but at the same time, I think are they biting off more than they can chew? And that's where I'm wondering, because if they go down a path where, well, let me track my thoughts here. So I think CEOs look at things like this. They look at D&D Beyond. Hasbro CEO looks at D&D Beyond. They look at Roll20, and they're just like, why are all of these people making all this money off of us? Like, why can't they look at all those Kickstarters? Why can't we be making all of that money? And so then their logical thing is like, we'll just hire a bunch of people. We'll just make the exact same thing. But since we own the intellectual property, people will have to come through us, and they'll have to, like, you know, and then we'll have a monopoly, and we'll become Disney. And Disney will own everything and do everything in-house, and they'll never outsource anything, and it'll be great. So, yeah, and AJ says history repeats, because they're getting so successful that these the hubris of it is that they're gonna, like, we're gonna go do everything better. And I don't think that Wizards of the Coast, the people who are in charge of Dungeons and Dragons, I don't think they think this, but I think the people who are in charge of Dungeons and Dragons money, like the CEO of Hasbro's and things like that, I think they're very much like, we need to make money, and this is a way for us to make more money. Now, the problem with all of this is that, what if you do it half-assed? Like, what if you try to get it out the door really fast? What if you haven't been working on this for a huge amount of time? What if you don't want to invest the probably millions of dollars in creating really good software, you know? And ideally, they won't pull the license for D&D Beyond. They won't pull the license for Roll20, for all of the other virtual tabletops, because then it's good for the consumer. If they want to build their own thing, that's great. And if it's better than D&D Beyond, that's awesome. I could go over there. But if I like D&D Beyond, I can stay there. We're getting really... Like, I'm finding this personally, that I haven't built a character on paper in forever. And specifically with the Artificer, I'm like, I think I need to build an Artificer on paper so that I understand how it works. Because when D&D Beyond does everything for me, I get like, I don't even know, why do I have that, you know? Because I'm not actually understanding what's happening. But if you look at the history of it, like D&D Beyond at the very beginning, I was not interested. It was fine. I think Critical Role really elevated D&D Beyond. Now it is a very great piece of software, and I think it's completely worth the money. But when it first came out, I'm like, I don't know, like not really, not super interested in D&D Beyond. I'll just play at the table, kind of a thing like that. So we'll see, man. But I mean, this is a lot of people. And like, they're just like, yeah, we want all of this. And to get a group of people together and then just say, all right, now, maybe you've worked together, maybe you haven't, but, go build us something amazing. It's like, nah, I don't know. You're right. Yeah. I don't know. Like, I'm really curious. So there's some video games obviously in the works, which, those are hit or miss. I mean, what was it? Dark Alliance. I've heard not good things. I played the tutorial and that was about it. So I don't know, but this makes me a little leery of the future of Dungeons and Dragons, because if they start locking everything, I don't know, but ultimately they're publishing books, and I think that they will never stop publishing books. And my preferred way to play is at the table. So yeah. And I mean, I play lots of games over the internet, like OSR and things like that, where I'm like, we don't really need a digital thing. Like, I can still have my players at Roll20, and everyone just made their own physical character sheets, and we still play at Roll20. So we'll see. Yeah, I don't know though, man. That's just so many people. And I think that was most of the news I wanted to talk about. So we might be done with news. And then on like personal stuff, yeah, we're working on other things. But yeah. 5 torches deep. That's right. So I feel so bad. I want to, yeah. So AJ says, it looks like the doors at Blizzard are open and everybody is, maybe going, yeah, Wizards of the Coast. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah. Oh, something else we didn't talk about. Paizo, the people at Paizo started a union, a workers union, which is like good for them. We'll see where that goes. I'm not entirely sure. I'm always in support of the little guy. So if people can band together to get better working wages and better a work environment, that's awesome. I am all about that. So I thought that was kind of cool, and it also shed a spotlight. Like, maybe it's not like the best place to work, you know. And tabletop RPGs have never been that lucrative outside of D&D. I think D&D has always made a lot of money, and it's like a great place to work and things like that. But for if you don't have that Dungeons and Dragons brand, other people, I mean, I see so many people that are just like, I worked on this for 4 years and they're selling it for $5, you know, and just to get it out there, kind of a thing. So, but they started a union, so I'm really curious as to see where that's going to go, and hopefully, if there's transparency in this industry, that would be really interesting to see. Like, oh, you pay them this much, and how much is a tabletop RPG design worth versus what are people wanting to consume? So, yeah, so the proletariat will rise up for sure. On my personal stuff that I've been working on, one of them is Kids on Bikes. So I did a live stream on the main channel 2 days ago. Yeah, Thursday. So Thursday night, I was kind of like down in the dumps, and I just wanted to like live stream and work on some stuff and talk to people. Because I'm working from home now. I don't really get out and see a lot of people. And with my significant other working on various projects, I don't even see her very often. So, Kids on Bikes. So we're going to do a Kids on Bikes game, and I feel really bad because I was originally going to do this game with some friends online, like LB and Lex and a lot of the old Rod of Seven Parts crew. Harlan from Better Than Heroes. He runs a Spelljammer game. He's a really cool guy. And Kugo from Kugo the Mighty, who I was in his Eberron game. I don't know if that's going to work out now. So now I've rescheduled this with some real life friends here at the table. But I'm going to run this annual Halloween Kids on Bikes game that I've been running. And Greg, a lot of people have been talking NW. Yeah, NWN is Neverwinter Nights. It's a PC game. They made Neverwinter Nights 1, 2, and now it's an MMO. So, Kids on Bikes, system I obviously love. We're going to do Polybius, which is a urban legend about a mind-controlling arcade game in the 1980s. So, Polybius. So if we go to, Polybius Urban Legend. So this is fun. Like, I really like Polybius. I think it's a cool story of like the government trying to mind control you. So we worked on this on Thursday, and I'm going to continue working on it tonight, and I'm going to run it tomorrow. So sometime before Halloween, I will get the audio edited and uploaded, and you guys can listen to it on YouTube. If you're a patron, it will be as a podcast on the Patreon. So lots of fun. But yeah, this is all like hearsay, and I don't think it actually existed, but it's kind of a fun idea to do. So we're going to have an artificial intelligent Polybius game that terrorizes my Kids on Bikes players. So it'll be fun. Still running Dungeon Crawl Classics and Hot Springs Island. We've had two sessions of Dungeon Crawl Classics Hot Springs Island, and I really like the group. I really like the players. They're totally diving in. They're having a lot of fun. I've got including myself, it's an 8-person table, which has been a challenge, and I like that we have so many people that are interested in games like this and are willing to play. But that being said, man, 8 people is a lot. And I will say the benefit of this, though, is that not all of my players can make it all the time. So we average about 5 to 6 because certain players just can't make it. And then I don't know if that's good, because when you have 4 players and 2 people can't make it, it's almost like, well, then I don't really think we should play. This way we can still play. And the nature of Hot Springs Island, they can kind of like jump in and out. Rerunning this, though, with a different system does not feel that different. I think I want more. Well, I should say it's 7 plus me. So 8 total at the table. But yeah, it's a lot. But I think for me, I like that there are systems that are catered to. I like that there are stories that are catered to specific systems. But Hot Springs Island is unique and fun because because I know the world and the lore, because I've read it and I ran it for 5th edition. It's been a lot easier running this again, and I'm enjoying the fact that I can just roll some dice and be like, this is what you encounter, and I know what it is going forward. Circling back to Ptolus, that's why I'm interested in Ptolus. Like, could that be the same thing where I run it, or I read it, I run it, and now I could really use that for any system, because I know I don't need to know monsters or things like that. All I need to know is, like, how do you handle these type of checks with your system? And then I can go through that in Hot Springs Island, or I can go through that in Ptolus. So I'm very curious about that, and I want more like open campaign settings. I think that's just a cool idea. I did promise that I would do some Dungeon Master, or I should say like campaign diaries, but I have not had the time to do it. I've just been very busy with taking care of my little one, and my wife has been busy doing some other stuff, so I've kind of been on full dad duty lately, which is also the lack of videos. But I'm going to work on some videos today, and then playing games tomorrow keeps me sane, so we'll be doing that as well. I'm using Dungeon Crawl Classics for my Hot Springs Island game. So originally I ran it with 5th edition D&D, and we had a lot of fun with that. And now this is a new group of players, and we're going to try out the same game with Dungeon Crawl Classics. And by we, I'm trying this out. They know nothing about Hot Springs Island. It's just me. So really, I still, one of my favorite like pieces of game publishing, I guess. I just really, really like it. It's the art's fun, the world's fun, the story's fun, and a lot of it feels very malleable that I can kind of run around with. The other thing I want to talk about is I bought this book a while ago, and this is by the same people that made Hot Springs Island, and this is called The Tome of Black Sand. And this is a hard book. It's really thin, but because it's kind of just a little adventure. But man, is this like the coolest thing though. So if you're looking for like a Halloween-y thing, Drive-Thru RPG has a Halloween sale right now. So this is only $3.50, but it's really cool. There is a forest or someplace, like you can kind of just put this tomb wherever you want. But the idea is that there's a tomb with a lich in it, and the tomb was grown from bone, and then that bone has been eroding away and things like that. And so there's this necrotic black sand that kind of permeates this entire like tomb. You get where did I get the hardback from? Oh, good idea. Where did I get the hardback from? I think I got it from Sword Coast. Yeah, let's just search. I got it from Swordfish Island's shop. So this is the same people that made, then it's $30. So you get a PDF with it, I'm pretty sure. This is the same company that made, what's the word? Hot Springs Island. I don't know why I'm blanking on that. Yeah, Swordfish Island. So the same people that made Hot Springs Island made Tomb of Black Sand, which is why I picked it up, and I thought it was really fun. It's not a quick adventure. I think this would be like maybe 2 or 3 sessions. It's pretty deadly. And it has that feel of maybe you're not supposed to defeat the boss at the end. Maybe you're just supposed to like kind of understand what the dungeon is, what the tomb is, and get out of there alive, maybe with some magical items. Yeah, we'll see. But it's got a CR21 lich in it, and a bunch of other really crazy things, some custom monsters, and this is made for 5th edition. So although I was looking at it and I'm like, oh man, we could easily port this over and I could kind of put it anywhere. I love books like this. I love that I can take, I'm like, here's just the Tomb of Black Sand. And so all of a sudden your players are, I could use this on Hot Springs Island. Like, what if they're wandering around and they discover like, what's all this weird black sand? And then that sand leads them to a tomb, and then they go down into the earth, and there's a whole bunch of stuff going on. So who knows? I am planning on doing a mini review of this, either on the main channel or the Jocular Junction. So be sure to check it out. Could be a lot of fun. And then speaking of that, I did get this in the mail as well. The Border Kingdoms, which I will be honest, I forgot I bought. And it showed up, my printed copy. This is written by Ed Greenwood, and it is a Forgotten Realms supplement. There's no classes in here. There's no, or subclasses, I should say. There's a few magic items, but what there is a whole bunch of material on the border kingdoms, very awesome. And then also there's a whole bunch of material on backstories and backgrounds and things like that. So you can use those backgrounds to actually help you have a solid Forgotten Realms game going forward, which is something I really enjoy. So yeah, small modules like that, I think. RPG DMCA says we need more like small modules like this. And the third-party publishers were the ones that were doing it. And I think Goodman Games was doing a really good job at making those for 3rd edition. But as they developed Dungeon Crawl Classics, now they're really just making content for DCC. Not to say that you can't convert that over, but no, like I love stuff like this where I want a big setting book for the whole world, but then you could buy these little puzzle pieces and put them in. Like I'm gonna put in the Tomb of Black Sand right here, or I'm gonna put in White Plume Mountain over here. I'm gonna do this, and it's just super funny. So yeah, Border Kingdoms. AJ's really excited about it because it is super good. It's really awesome. I need to do a cool review of it. So that is everything, ladies and gentlemen. What do you think is going to happen with all of these, the future of Dungeons & Dragons, the new, what did they say in the thing? The lead developer of D&D said that they have new, experimental publishing ways that they're going to do. So something like that. Zris asks if I looked up Colostal, and I don't think I did. What is Colostal? Oh, and did I put this in chat? Oh, I did. Okay. So you guys can put this out. I'll put it, yeah. Colostal. What is Colostal? Besides a shop. Oh, I did look at this. Yeah. I looked at it in the sense that I got to this website, but I haven't really checked it out since there. I am also looking forward to playing Jammer Frontiers, AJ. So thank you. I think I want to steal Mike Shea's or he answers questions from the audience, but he always has patron questions set up so he can have good responses to that. So I might have to think about that again if I have another solo show. Normally we don't do this. Mr. Lucian is here to help me out, but today it's just me. And with that, I think I'm going to end. I think we're going to close up shop, and I got to run over to Free RPG Day. It just started 44 minutes ago, and I got to get there before all the good stuff's taken away. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you again for the super chat, Mr. Steve. I really appreciate it. Helps us keep the channel on. If you do want to help out, you can always go to the Patreon, which is really fun. You could also become a member here on YouTube, which has just like icon perks, but that's about it. But it's fun. With that, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys I will see you next week, if not before. Take care.